Yo, welcome on in once again, everybody, to another Marvel Contest of Champions video today. Well, Kabam must have seen all the bitching and the moaning, but it's much more than that because there's complaints out there and legitimate ones. So we finally got a dev diary from everybody's, videos on YouTube talking about all the bugs, the problems, the game modes, the reward updates in Mcoc and the state of the game. And what I'm wondering is what took so long. Also, when we had our 10-year anniversary, why did we not receive a 2025 6-month these are the champions coming, or look at the colors and figure out what champs are coming to the game, and these are the next 6 months, and this is what we're building around in this month, and then in this month we're doing this. We got none of that this year. Are they scared that J-Ax is so good at predicting champions they didn't want to even do that? Because he would get 8 months out of the year correct on what champions are coming, or pretty damn close to it. So anyway, we're going to get into their dev diary from Karate Mike. Kabam Asaurus Rex. Battlegrounds, a dev diary. Greetings, summoners. We want to thank you again for your patience this week. We have some exciting news to share regarding Battlegrounds from our very own Kabam Crashed. We're very excited about the future, and we hope you are too. Check the link below. And as you guys can see at the bottom here, we've got 60 middle fingers, 10 laughing emojis, 2 warlocks, 13 cat points, 8 Thanos snaps, 6 snakes, 18 what the hell is that? Eggplant, 3 Finnish flags, I believe, 16 Iran flag. I'm not sure what flag that is. Anyway, we're going to jump into it. We're going to go to the site. We're going to read this off, and we're going to get into this video. Let's see how long it is. Oh, boy. Oh, good lord. Good God, man. Okay, guys. Yes, it's going to be a video. Wow. Alright, so, damn. Let's break this down. Hi, everyone. When I started writing this post a few weeks ago, I intended for it to be a discussion of all of our live content. As I got into it, I realized doing that was going to turn into a 50-page report. That's fine, bring it, baby. And trying to do so would delay this post by probably a month. So I decided to go ahead and focus on Battlegrounds, as it's one of the places the biggest changes are coming. First up and foremost, why the F-bomb would this take 50-page report? Why would you wait so long to give us a report? And why not realize that this shit needed changing a fucking year ago? And yeah, I'm going to go off in this video, right? Kabam brought all the top CCP players to their fucking headquarters and showed them what? Hey, look, it's the Epoch boss and Jean Grey and Bastion for next month. Really, that's it? Is that it? Is that all they saw? I know they can't tell us what they saw. And now I'm probably never going to get into CCP because Kabam will watch this video one day and be like, yeah, this guy's a cocksucker, never bring him into our fucking thing ever. But, dude, for real. And I know these guys kept asking questions. And I know some people said, I don't know who runs Battlegrounds and this and that. Let me go. We need somebody there to ask the questions. Kabam, what are you doing to fix the bugs? What are you doing for the medium intercept bug? What are you doing for the snap light attacks? Why is there bugs every month in new content? Why is there a knock-on effects every month? We understand these things are happening, but why is it happening? What are you going to do about in-game rewards? Why haven't event quests been buffed since frickin' Paragon? We're doing Thronebreaker event quests, Kabam. Wake up, hello. It's 3 years old. And now I'm going off the rails because this is bullshit, man. That it's like, oh, I gotta write reports and give you guys updates, but it's because this just makes it seem like we're so fucking far away from actually getting things done. When, in hindsight, a year ago, Kabam should have known this is gonna happen. Don't they plan for the future? Don't they have a 3-year plan? Where's their fucking reward plan? I'm going to do in this post what I try to do with my banquet post. Peel back the curtain as much as I can to let you know what the game team is thinking and how decisions are being made. I'm sure lots of you will disagree with some of these decisions, and that's okay. Why don't you ask the community how they feel? Before I get into it, I want to say that I won't be talking about bugs, gameplay issues, or anything else like that. That's fine. That can go to another day. The team is currently working on a post about the AI and our plans for it. Well, that's been 3 years in the making, but that is outside of my purview, so you won't see any of that discussed here. Additionally, in many cases, I'm going to be simplifying large topics into 1 or 2 lines. Just because I don't mention something doesn't mean the team isn't thinking about it. My intent here is to focus on things I think are most important to understanding the plan changes coming to Battlegrounds. Problem space. I'm going to start by describing some problems and challenges that have driven the changes we are planning to make. Some of these are inherent to Battlegrounds mode itself. Some of them are more game-wide issues, and some of them are operational challenges on the game team. The Battlegrounds meta system design isn't working. When I say Battlegrounds meta system, I am talking about basically everything outside of the match experience itself. I know this is using the term meta in a way that players generally do not, but it's how we on the game team describe things like the various Battlegrounds events and objectives, Battlegrounds resources and currencies, and the seasonal structure as a whole. There are a few reasons why the system isn't working. I'm going to do my best. The rewards is one. First, the solo and alliance events have never really worked as intended. No kidding. Like, my team just doesn't even give a fuck. Like, that's just one. I know some teams do. We still get, like, the 1 to 10%, but no, I'm not even going for, like, the 300k points anymore. It's ridiculous that I have to grind Battlegrounds, get to 300k points, and get 2k Titan shards. Meanwhile, my first 10 fucking objectives from getting points are all 6-star shards. It's just like, I don't want to do this as a Valiant player. It's wasting my fucking day. It's wasting my gosh damn time. First, the solo and alliance events have never really worked as intended. The original design assumed that while some players would try to game the system, most would play the mode as intended. How can you game the system? I don't know. That intent being trying to win every match. It hasn't turned out that way, and over time we are seeing more and more players trying to game the system. No kidding. Modders, whatever. We have occasionally taken action against farming, but you said it was legal in the GC. But at the end of the day, we have to be accountable for the incentives we provide players, and right now these incentives do not line up with how we want the mode to be played. It's a design miss on our part. Second, because of the way the mode is structured, there is no benefit to pushing to the Gladiator circuit and beyond as soon as you're able. Don't tell me they're going to start nerfing the fucking tokens and shit. That doesn't need to be done either. But let's let them continue. Where you end up when the season ends determines almost the entirety of your reward payout. I don't have 8 hours to play BGs every day either, bro. This causes a number of problems, including very uneven matchmaking, as players have no incentive to compete to their level for the majority of the 4-week season. Third, the restrictive of the victory track allowed a large number of players into the Gladiator circuit, which wasn't originally structured to accommodate the influx. Wait, what? The restructure of the victory track allowed a large number of players into the Gladiator circuit, which wasn't originally structured to accommodate the influx. What, bro? Bro, what? Russell Westbrook. Battlegrounds is a niche game mode. Everything else on this problem space list will probably make sense to most of the people reading this, but I'm assuming this one will be a surprise to a significant number of you. I'm assuming this based on the dozens of forum posts and YouTube videos I have seen that were some version of Kabam is killing the most important game mode. Yes, I've read and watched them all. Oh, really? This one? Despite its importance in the public domain of our game, Battlegrounds is a niche game mode. The vast majority of our players do not, nor have they ever played Battlegrounds seriously, even when the rewards were top of the game shortly after it launched. I'm sure some of you are thinking, okay, but Battlegrounds is how you make your money because it's the only thing driving players to spend on their rosters. But again, that's not correct. The vast majority of our revenue comes from players who do not, nor have they ever played Battlegrounds seriously. What? Thinking Battlegrounds is the most important game mode is an easy trap to fall into. You're not making money on endgame content, clearly, because people are just going to spend their saved units, right? We're not spending on that endgame content, correct? Okay. Story mode, no one's spending on. That's not anything. What do you mean? You're making money off major holidays so we can advance our rosters and advance our rank ups. And most of that is for high tier players, in my mind. And I'm one of them, and I don't even get Celestial or anything. Whatever. We're just going to continue. Thinking Battlegrounds is the most important game mode is an easy trap to fall into. I know this because myself fell into that trap. For the first year after launch, I was certain Battlegrounds had taken over the game. My colleague Numbers, who used to tell me I was overestimating the importance of the mode, but I was convinced. Now looking back, I'm not sure exactly which cognitive fallacy to ascribe it to. I think it was some combination of confirmation bias, visibility bias, and the bandwagon effect. If you look, Battlegrounds is awesome though, Jax. Let's get that. It's the best game mode in the game if you make it good. But the problem is, month after month, we're doing the shitty freaking content, shitty event quest, shitty paragauntlet, shitty side quest, shitty fucking rewards, shitty milestone rewards, shitty daily rewards. It's just the only good thing logging into the game daily is the daily super event. No one wants to do AQ. I don't know why we still have AQ when we have the daily super event. I've mentioned that many times. If you look at what our content creators are streaming and what people are talking about on social channels, it's very easy to come to the conclusion that Battlegrounds is this contest. This isn't surprising. It's obviously the most engaging game mode to a stream. A group of hardcore competitive players, many of whom play the contest as their primary hobby or even their career, love it. But it's not for everybody. Well, everybody doesn't have the time to do it, right? I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I play Battlegrounds when I can every night, but we have other game modes, Kabam, and this is another problem. You try jamming everything in 1 month on a Wednesday. You're like, Battlegrounds, start of Battlegrounds, start of 9.2, start of Event Quest, start of the day of the side quest. We also have incursions this month. You guys can do arena. We can't do all that. It's too much. And we can't pick and choose because then we miss out on rewards. And then you come out the end game stuff 1 month after the Mcoc stuff, and it's like, oh man, it's just like blowing my brain in half because I got so much content to do. I feel like I'm behind. That's just me, though. I don't know about you guys. It's surprising. It's obviously the most engaging game mode to stream. Play the contest as a primary hobby or even their career, love it. But it's not for everybody, and the more I dug into the data, the more I came to realize I was wrong. Despite my love for the mode, it was not the core experience, and we had been neglecting that core experience. No, you're neglecting other core experiences of the game. If Battlegrounds isn't the core experience for players, what are they doing monthly? Freaking Cavalier Event Quest? I mean, you know, I don't know. I have no idea where this is going, but prioritization of more casual audiences. Time for some honesty that I'm sure I'll get some DMs about. I'm in a position where if I had decided last year that addressing the core issues of Battlegrounds was my priority, we would have at least taken a crack at addressing them. I made the decision not to prioritize it. I'm not the only one in that position, and I'm not going to provide an exhaustive list of everyone who could have focused on the mode and their motivations, but I'm going to share why I made that decision. Bro, we haven't even gotten story content yet. Like, it's been so long since we got story content, and they're focused so highly on this endgame monthly content. I like it. I like the endgame content. Keep it coming, but at some point, people are just going to have enough. Enough of the endgame nightmare raids, nightmare bugs, and, you know, the Epoch of Pain Ares boss that was designed for, you know, a revive fest at first. The vast majority of live service games saw a huge bump both players and revenue during COVID as people sat around at home with nothing to do. Contest was no exception. Like, basically, and I'm seeing ads now, come back to MCOC. It's so funny. I was hired right at the tail end of this expansion around 3.5 years ago. As with all good parties, the hangover to this new normal was rough. At Kabam, we experienced 3 rounds of layoffs, went through 3 different CEOs, and like almost everyone else in the industry, struggled to deal with the declines that followed. But you guys make so much money. I don't know why Kabam's doing layoffs. Like, this game makes so much freaking money, bro. Superboy Z paid for like 3 devs I talked to my engineer buddy at work. That's 2 years of pay, $180K, that he spent. That's one guy that spent it in 2 weeks. Around 18 months ago, I was tasked with a goal to come up with and implement ideas to stop the decline of our player base. As I set out a plan, I decided 3 areas where I wanted to focus. To stop the decline of our player base, creating progressively challenging PvE content for endgame players. Okay, check. Creating long-term goals for endgame players. Check. Rank ups and shit. Providing an improved value proposition for progressing players. Check. But that's it. Monthly content. Check. Make AQ better. Check. Freaking Battlegrounds. Check. These 3 areas got distilled into the goals I talked about in many live streams: clarity, simplicity, and approachability. I have seen many people suggest that Kabam hates Battlegrounds, and I can tell you, at least for me, it couldn't be further from the truth. I have made no secret Battlegrounds is my favorite game mode. I have always been attracted to competitive environments, and personally, in many ways, Battlegrounds is a contest. For me, like many of you, it is the most important game mode. However, after digging through the data, who cares about the data? I know, let's just get going. I determined that, contrary to my own personal interest as a player, focusing on Battlegrounds would do nothing to solve our problem of a declining player base. Indeed, I even uncovered some evidence that better rewards in Battlegrounds led to worse overall player retention. What? There's no way, bro. What? Dude, I've had like my highest season when the rewards were better. What? That is crazy. Even my team has done better, and it's just fallen off drastically since then. I can't say this is true. For Master Teams, Platinum 1, Platinum 2, Platinum 3, Platinum 4, Gold 1, this cannot be true. And they are the teams you need to be focusing on this game. It's got to be like Gold 2 and above. We can't be focused on these uncollected players. I get you want to bring new players into the game, but when they see how big and immersive this game is, they're afraid, bro. They're like, dude, 7 stars. I'm only getting 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. All right. Player retention, conversely, our highest retention rate is among competitive Battleground players. Basically, the better someone is at Battlegrounds, the less likely they are to stop playing our game. Our data team looked at it and found over an 8-month period, 3 Celestial players had stopped playing the game. Not 3%, literally 3 players. This does make sense. It's basically another way of saying the players who have the most time invested in our game are least likely to leave. At any rate, despite the fact that rewards are now nowhere near the top of the game, this trend hasn't changed. The retention rate among competitive Battlegrounds players is still very, very high. But why can't you at least update the rewards is a fair question. When I had some spare capacity, I decided we could manage an update of one of the reward channels. I chose the store because that impacts everybody who plays the mode and is less susceptible to problems with the meta systems I described above. But surely you can do more. Also fair. It's really hard to understand the lift is to keep the game like contest running from the outside. The priorities listed above led to a bunch of extra stuff on top of my regular duties that I designed or provided guidance for last year, including Sagas, Saga Chase Champions, Deathless Chase, AWES, the hell's that? Saga Incursions, a Crucible, Daily Super Event, Level Cap Increase, Realm Events, Supply Drop Calendars, 10th Anniversary, but all that stuff's gone now. We're done with all that. We're done with all that. Now, I don't know what Crash is working on next, but that's all done. As I often am, right now I'm pretty conflicted because the plan worked. In the second half of last year, we saw the first year-over-year growth in our player base. Like, why do they honestly care about the growth of the player base? Shouldn't they care about the growth of their money? The player base can grow. We can get 2 million more players, but if they're all going to be free to play, the game's fucked. Close the fucking lights and lock the doors. Because we're shutting down shop. Anyway, I guess we're going to focus on that, but okay. 4 years. This wasn't just a result of the work listed above. Many other teams were working on the same problem. As someone who loves Battlegrounds and understands the state it's in, I don't feel super great about accomplishing that goal. The game is too big. That's true. We have come a long way from story and arena was the contest. As the game has grown, the economy has struggled to keep up for 3 core reasons. There are too many reward channels to make them all valuable. Kinda true. We are in a strange situation right now where 2 seemingly conflicting... When are we getting a Trader's Outpost buff that was promised? Player counts are progressing faster than they ever have before because of the fucking gifting event. Kabam, you did this to yourself, bro. Now, every year we have to get to the next rank, right? This December, guys, we're going to see rank 5 7 stars. It has to happen. Because Kabam's got to make money, and those endgame players, they're not going to fucking spend thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of millions of dollars across all the players to get bullshit, to just get more rank 4s. Now, they're going to want the rank 5s. Where are we at here? Game. Unfortunately, I don't have a good data view to show you this. Well, just show us the gifting event, and it'll tell us. I was going to request one from the data team, but that would have delayed this post by a few weeks. A few weeks from really, and the community team thought it was more important. But if you are an endgame player who completes most content, you should be able to take a step back and realize how fast you are progressing. Yeah, extremely fast. 2 years ago, 7 stars didn't exist. Yeah, but how many 7-star shards, basic 7-star shards, have we gotten crashed? Don't tell us we've just gotten a lot from our 6-star shards. No. In the game, where's a lot of 7-star shards currently coming from? Nowhere. Really nowhere. Like, not from Event Quest. Barely any from the Paragauntlet. Just not a lot in BGs unless you want to spend all those tokens on it. 7 stars didn't exist 2 years ago. That's wild. Look at your roster now. How can it be the case that you have progressed that far if the rewards are bad? On the surface, this seems contradictory, but I think it comes down to value for time. While there are more rewards available than ever before, the actual value of a summoner's time in most quests and game modes has gone down. Certainly the first hour spent in Battlegrounds is worth less than 2 years ago. Obviously the same is true in the event quests and side quests, so I don't think it's a problem with the total rewards available. I think it's a problem with those rewards being spread so thin across such a large game. That is a huge problem. But they're fucking outdated. We're still doing Thronebreaker. There are too many reward channels for us to keep updated. Even if we did have enough rewards to make every mode valuable, we simply don't have the internal resources to keep them all updated. There are hundreds of places summoners get rewards across the game. Updating rewards isn't as simple as just updating a spreadsheet for some modes, and events can be a pretty involved process. We simply don't have the capacity to keep everything up to date for every type of player at every progression across the game. That's a problem then, bro. Like, that's a huge problem. There are so many reward channels that we don't want players to feel like they have to do it all. But I do. Every month I feel like I'm behind. Even if we did have enough rewards, and I play like 4 hours a day, make every mode valuable, and even if we did have the resources to keep them all up to date, we still wouldn't want it because it would ask too much of players. We don't want players to feel like the contest has to be a full-time job to keep up. I just want up-to-date game modes, bro. Like, If we got an updated event quest and Battlegrounds, I'd feel fine with just doing those two modes. Like, but you guys want to keep pumping out endgame content every month because all those other things are outdated. I don't know. That's just me. Cancellation of the Battle Run Ball. It's not surprising that Legacy, Andrew, Trap, and others at their level are extra salty with us about the current state of the game mode they dominate. In addition to everything listed above, the plan to keep players in this rarefied air happy was always to focus on the World Championship. Last year we had made substantial progress in planning a bigger and better Battle Run Brawl, and we were at a stage where we had started to talk to some of the content creator program about it. Then a decision made due to factors outside the control of the game team to cancel our plans. It was a hard decision that I'm still sad about, but we are hopeful we'll be able to return hosting a World Championship. We have a lot of plans to bring the whole contest community together to provide excitement both for those who can attend in person and those who won't be able to make it. We have things planned that we have never explored before. Other BG specific issues, staleness of the match experience. We are now in Season 27, and minus a few relatively small scoring changes in the match experience, Battlegrounds has been determined almost entirely by nodes and champion rosters. The original version for Battlegrounds was to vary the match experience much more than we currently do. That's why we need different modes. 3-star, 4-star Battlegrounds, like what Trappy was talking about. Shuffle's not working properly. That's true. Show me some new options. Get shown the same options again. Also, it's always nice to see your opponent pull a draft pick from the ether. Match declines are a problem at the top. Current system allows players at the top. Yup. Matchmaking times are a problem at the top. Players at the top have to wait way too long to get a match. That's true. Pausing can be an advantage. There are certain circumstances where pausing a match can be beneficial to a player. That's true. Plan changes. With the context out of the way, I might pause it here, guys, because this video is getting long. I don't want it to get too long. I'm going to do a part 2 for the plan changes. And yeah, because this is really going to get into it. So I'm going to do a part 2, guys. It should come out tonight. It should be here soon. But I'm going to end the video here at 21 minutes. If you guys enjoyed my little rant, hit the like button. Keep your eye out for a part 2. It's going to come right after this video. You can watch that first if you want to. But and then we'll probably do something in game later. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing my comic, guys. I'm going to be doing Marvel comics. So leave your comment for your favorite Marvel comic, your favorite Marvel character, and I'm going to do that first. But I just want to get this video out, and then we're going to get the part 2 out. Hit the buttons, all the buttons, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Become members if you'd like. I have really cheap memberships on my channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next video, and we'll get the part 2 out right away. Peace out.